All right, we are live, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Lake County. I'm your host, David Rich. I have two very interesting and very cool guests on today. We have Amy Frick and Marie Nuez, who were both involved in some heated stuff last week at a village board meeting in Grays Lake over the data center situation, which is hot topic right now. There's like all over the country, people are not having this. So I had Morgan Coghill and Alexandria Sofiakis on a few weeks ago to talk about the data center thing. And since then, you had a video that at least locally went viral. I've seen it multiple times. I tried to get it on to upload it here. It wouldn't let me do it, so I'm going to have to figure something out about that later. But the link is on the side there, folks. If you want to copy and paste that, you can check it out. It's a very cool video. So, Amy, why don't you go ahead and just kind of give the description, set us up to that moment before that happened. Like, what happened that caused that reaction?
Well, I think first the tone was really set when Miss Marie was at the podium speaking, because she was before me. And she was
why is that setting a tone? Go ahead. Why is that?
Well, because she wasn't allowed to finish her speech, and she was, run off away from the podium by the police officer, because it's a safety concern for somebody to talk longer than 2 minutes that's allowed. And so I think people really frustrated. I mean, they saw that, they witnessed it, and I think there's just a complete breakdown of trust. And I think once that happened to Marie, that escalated the energy in the room, and so by the time I wasn't called to speak, people were angry. I mean, people didn't want Marie to sit down; they wanted her to finish her speech. So
the chief of police came up and escorted her away.
Yeah,
I got two. Officers had to come up to take me down.
See, that's impressive. Nice.
Yeah.
It's
the people.
So Marie goes to tell us about that moment. Like what was going through your head? What were you saying that at the end that they cut you off because the time limit was up? That wasn't because you're like, okay.
Yes,
so that was their reasoning for sure. I mean, you're right.
Yes.
I mean, you can't go an extra like 20, 30 seconds over. I mean, it's 2 minutes.
Right.
So that you have to send cops on you, to walk you away. It's not that big of a deal. But okay, that was. So how were you? What were you thinking about how you were feeling?
Well, the one thing that I have to admit that I did stutter with my speech. I didn't have it written on paper. I had changed a few things, and I didn't have time to go and make a paper copy, which was harder to read on, of course, on the phone. AI, I know. But when I was getting to the end there, I actually had good news for everybody. And unfortunately, I said, I have good news. And that's, boom, where they cut me off. And everybody wanted to hear what the good news was, because everything about the T5 data center is not really good news.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to hear good news? That would make sense.
Yeah. So so that's when, the mayor said,
okay, well, what was
Officer, I don't know his name, so I'll just say Officer Fife. Sorry. And then I'm like, but people want to hear this. And then I wasn't coming down fast enough for him. And another officer stepped up, and, I just, was leaving, and said that I would just put it on Facebook. So that was the end of that.
Shock. You had some shock on your face. I remember you were trying to finish your speech, and you were so kind of like, why are you coming for me? Like, you just wanted to give your talk, and you were surprised, I think, to have the officer trying to take you away.
Yeah. Haha, take me away.
Right?
So, okay. So did they put hands on you, or would you just sort of go along with them?
I went along with them. They did not. The first officer who got up, he was very polite, and he just said, you're over time. And I said, but they want to hear. And they said, I'm sorry. And, then I was kind of walking around the podium to leave. And then the second officer, of course, had to get involved. And I mean, I think the whole thing was just so heated, and it's not heated. It's compassion. People are so upset.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is not just, when it was first said, what was it, Amy? Supposed to be 100 acres.
Yeah. It was like 160.
It was not supposed to be as big. Not that anyone wants 160 acres anyway. And then all of a sudden it exploded. you know, and now it's 364 acres and there's wetlands involved, and you know, it's 10,000 square feet or 10 million square feet or whatever. Amy probably knows the logistics more than I do. I just go and keep taking videos over at the site because there's a lot of beautiful wildlife over there. There truly is.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
okay, cool. And then Amy, so you, at this point, this is where you get involved.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember what number Marie was when she spoke.
I was number 5.
You were number 5. Okay.
I was 5, and I think you were 7 or 8.
Yep.
I'm a Saddlebrook resident, so I'm not even a Grays Lake resident, technically.
Technically, yeah. So I actually thought I was 6th or 7th on the sign-up sheet because I try to pay attention to that because I was prevented from speaking on June 16th as well. So I paid attention to the sign-in sheet, and I was there at 5:40, signed up, ready to go. I have been participating in public meetings for well over 20 years. So I know the process, and I respect the process. I even respect the time limit, and I will even honestly say, fine that you cut the time limit down. I do think more notification is required. Be sort of just show up at the meeting and here's the rules for the night. But you know, I can respect it because a lot of people do want to speak on this issue. So as the speakers were being called, I didn't understand why I was not being called. But when she said we had time, when Mayor Davies said we had time for one more speaker, I stood up because I thought surely it would be me. This would be my second time trying to participate. Public participation. I'm a resident. I learned I live in unincorporated Grays Lake. Apparently that discredits me a little bit.
Where do you live?
Fine. Anyway, so I asked, I said, Mayor Davis looked surprised that I stood up, and I said, that's me, right? And I was assuming her to call me, and she didn't call me. She called the guy who spoke last, who reminded us all to be nice to each other. And so I was surprised. I was shocked. I wrote a speech. I was angry. I was like, I have been sitting here way early. I had other things I could do tonight. And so after the meeting ended, it really got tense. And I approached the city manager's table. I wanted to know how I got to get a copy of the meeting sign-in sheet because I am going to absolutely take them to task on this. So while I was speaking to him, one of our wonderful people came up to me and said, hey, the microphone's open. Give your speech, girl. So I did. I mean, I wrote the speech. It was a great speech and wrote it with Mayor Davies.
Mayor Davies just left. She walked out at this point.
Yeah, no, so that's why the beginning of the video kind of is like she walking out and everybody's like, bye.
Yeah, so she continued. She kind of stood there for a minute to try to, I guess, see what was going on or whatever. And then she just packed up her stuff. She was watching me talk to the city manager, and then she just left. And I was very surprised, and I thanked them in emails to the trustees who did sit back down and listen to my speech. And I personally am grateful for the people who came and stood beside me. It was a lot. I loved public speaking. I think the public involvement in the process is so important. I think that having the trust of your residents is important in government. And I think our elected officials are failing us. I don't hold anything against the police officers that were there. I think it's a poor use of police hours to sick them on your residents, but also like that's their job. So I can't really fault them. I 100% fault Mayor Davies for just leaving the room. And the reality is, had she just allowed me to participate and speak like everyone else, we all would have gone home, thought about the meeting maybe, and gone to bed. But because of the way she handled it, we didn't. That's not what happened. And my voice, I have said this multiple times, my voice was only amplified in that moment because of the way Mayor Davies handled the situation and because of all those people who came and stood beside me and protected me from the police officer. So, and I'm grateful for that.
That part was like, for me at least, like the apex of intensity of the situation. Yeah, it's all of a sudden these people stood up and put it like made a wall of themselves between the cop and you.
Absolutely.
I'm like, I was like, honestly, I'm going to swear right now. I was like, holy shit. Like,
I was thinking that too, and it was so funny. I speak all the time, and I think I'm a pretty okay speaker. And I was so focused on trying to get all the words out right, and also trying to focus on not tripping and falling because I'm quite clumsy as I made my way around the podium while I was carrying the microphone and trying to dodge the bodies and dodge the police officer. And in hindsight, it's very cartoonish when you think about it, like in hindsight.
Yeah.
But Marie and I had talked after, and she said, I don't know if you remember this, but I told you like, you're okay, like, slow down. And it's funny because in hindsight, I did remember her in my ear telling me that, and it did actually make me take a calming breath because I thought I was going to have handcuffs on me. And so it was so emotional. And I mean, for me, I live in Grays Lake. Mayor Davies, Grays Lake resident here. And I am fighting because I have bees. I'm a beekeeper. I'm fighting for the residents of Saddlebrook Farms. And so for me, it's emotional. And when I show up to a meeting, I've prepared. I've written a speech. I put time into it. I show up. I'm there early. So when you basically remove my ability to participate in the public process, I'm going to be angry. It's not fair. And so I'm grateful that you're having us on here so we can continue to talk about this.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So, okay. Obviously I don't want like a house number, but like you said, unincorporated Grays Lake, where do you live?
Yeah. Actually, I live in Wildwood. I live on Gage Lake Road. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you know what, I went home that night and composed some strongly worded emails to Mayor Davies and the trustees. I really wanted to send my speech to Mayor Davies because I wrote it with her in mind, and it was about trust and transparency in our local officials. And she 100% needed to read that. Did she? I don't know. But and all the trustees that did respond to me all kind of stood on the same thing, that, well, you live in unincorporated Grays Lake, and that basically means you can't speak. And that's fine if that's the leg you want to stand on. But you called a non-Grays Lake resident, and then now I'm learning more than one Saddlebrook Farms resident. So, I mean, you got to have those rules out there. And it seems like you're just deciding on the spot what the plan is for tonight's meeting. And that's not okay.
Agreed. Yeah, no, that isn't okay. I mean, especially like, you're still a part of the community. You're still going to be affected by it. Because you're unincorporated, you don't get representation because you're unincorporated. First of all, like real quick, Marie, like my license says Saddlebrook. It doesn't say Saddlebrook. It says the address. It says Grays Lake.
Right.
We are like Grays Lake residents.
We get mail from Grays Lake. We have fire from Grays Lake. So I feel
you're right. Our cops are Round Lake.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But our zip code is Grays Lake. So we are residents, I would say. I don't know. We are part of
the Grays Lake community. So I don't feel, even though our tax base may not be into Round Lake, but we are the most affected community in this ententire.
It's right across the street from
across the street.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
Like what you were saying before you came on, Amy, like, Marie and I are far enough away from Allegheny. We probably won't be affected by the noise, at least. Mm-hmm. I'm on the whole other side. But still, there are plenty of people that are on the other side by it that will be affected by at least the noise itself, if not just the eyesore that it's going to be.
Right.
And of course, there's all the environmental stuff you were talking about, and I'm a professional horticulturalist. I have a certain vested interest in a certain understanding of like what this can do to like ecosystems and stuff like that. This is not a good idea.
Really. Yeah. Really quick, while we're talking about the effects of it, Miss Marie and I actually are going up Thursday with a couple other members of our team. We're going up to the Mount Pleasant site. We have an entire field day planned. You know what? We want to go and see it for ourselves. We're tired of, people claiming we're fear mongering or pushing things that aren't true or whatever. Now, granted, it's not the same as the T5 because there are no hyperscale data centers on that level. So we don't even have the ability to get the information to how that will affect the environment, the wetlands, the animals. We don't have that information. It's not available. But the Microsoft site in Mount Pleasant is close enough that it will give us an idea.
Where is that? I know the name of it, but
it's actually in Mount Pleasant. So it's about 40 minutes north of Grays Lake. And so we have got an entire lineup of the residents and people up there who have been working against data centers. And so we are talking to the neighbors, people who are daily impacted, their lives, their quality of life has changed. And we've got equipment. We're going to do, ground temperatures and air quality monitors. And there you go. And so we're doing it. We're going to spend a couple hours up there.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Like, okay, guys, I'm standing, 300 feet away, and guess what? It's like in the red, whatever,
Absolutely.
whatever it says. Like, so you're
Right.
gonna figure out get the numbers. Always get the numbers. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Get the
And
math.
if we're gonna be out here talking about this, like I want to be able to say, you know what, I stood next to a data center. Here's what I felt in my body. Here's what I smelled. Here's what I heard. Here's what the reading
Yeah.
showed. And we're taking one of our social media people with us that can put together a video that can be used. And hopefully it'll also continue to push the story of those residents who are struggling now every day that since Microsoft has come online. Hopefully we can help them too while we're helping ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just such a huge nightmare. Huge
Yeah.
nightmare for everybody. Everybody.
And a multitude of different aspects or manners or ways that, whatever you want to say there. Like just again, environmentally, aesthetically, economically, politically.
Absolutely.
AI is a more general issue. AI is highly suspect, to put it nicely.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
But
know,
there's also
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt you. This was just come on my radar actually recently, and I've really been processing this. I worked in Des Moines helping gas stations remove old fuel tanks from old gas stations, and now that actual AI exec people are coming out and saying that these data centers have a 5 to 7 year lifespan. What's going to happen as they start to close? And that's the part that's concerning. And I'm seeing cities that are getting them are starting to require upfront money, not a strongly worded letter from the mayor, not a contract that they can file bankruptcy on and leave us with this mess anyway, but like actual money, a percentage of money, so that when they are done and they go out of business, that money is there and it doesn't fall to the taxpayers to have to clean up these giant facilities. Like, and I think that we need to be looking at that, because I keep hearing we're going to get all these tax breaks in Grays Lake for this data center.
That's going to be around for 10 years.
Right.
It's only
no
open
one's seen numbers.
These things are only open 5 to 7 years.
Well, they're thinking 10. Yeah.
10 years still. That's not much. This is the first time I'm hearing that. That's crazy. 10 years.
They don't know for sure. Nobody knows for sure.
Okay.
But the way
from all the tech center people that I have watched or read articles from, the tech is changing. It's evolving constantly, right? So 10 years, they're not going to need facilities of this size. Equipment's going to be smaller. It's going to be different. Like, so they're going to have to be scrapped. And what are we going to do with those buildings? What are we going to do with those facilities and all? I mean, how hard it is to get rid of an old computer right now from your house. Like, what are we going to do with that? Taxpayers are going to be cleaning it up.
Yeah. No, that's a really good. I didn't know that about the short shelf life there.
Yeah.
Interesting. Another. So I just add another problem to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Issue, I mean, I know they got data centers. The thing that scares me the most is that it's like maybe you can stop it in certain areas, but like data centers themselves are going to be constructed because we have this stupid competition with China, and other countries. Like we have to be the number one in everything, and we're not even. We keep trying and keep failing.
Yeah.
But but if China's doing it, we've got to do it. We've got to do it better. So the government's going to invest all sorts of money. But like I've heard Elon Musk say that like you can actually put these data centers in space, like in satellites. So why don't you just do that? Somebody was speculating that you can actually put them at you can put a couple at the bottom of like Lake Michigan and do like all sorts of cool stuff. And it doesn't need all the water and everything else because it's in the water already. Like it doesn't have to be this like, again, like stupid ecosystem destroying eyesore on, above ground, in
the middle of Grays Lake.
In the middle of Grays Lake, Illinois, there are other options to it. And like, you just, the old adage, you can't stop progress. Like technically, it's going to happen.
Right.
But we got to do it right. Go ahead, sorry.
Absolutely. And I can't speak for Marie, but I get accused all the time of being anti-AI, and I'm not anti-AI.
Right.
I'm worried that we don't have more rules and regulations around it. I'm worried about where that's going to go, but I'm not anti-AI. I'm not anti-tech. I do think there's a place for AI. I am anti no participation from the residents, no transparency, no independent studies. I am anti all of that stuff, and that's what we're doing. I don't know how Marie feels about AI, but that's kind of what I think.
Yeah.
Marie, what do you think
because I
AI?
used my phone during the meeting, I was blamed for using AI. come on, guys, give me a break.
Right. No, I use ChatGPT all the time, like daily.
Yeah.
I ask it a question, like, what about, because it'll give me like the greatest, most comprehensive answer in a matter of like seconds.
Absolutely.
Like, that is cool.
Yeah, try using Gemini.
Yeah. So it's not, again, I'm not anti-technology or even specifically AI or anything else, but you got to watch. Technology is the industrialization of technology is the very, very big problem environmentally. But there's got to be, technology should be able to fix itself. Just more green type technology and stuff like that. So we'll see.
It's a big risk for us to take with what benefit. When I keep asking people, what is the benefit? What is the benefit? All they can say is, well, our taxes are going to go down, even though they don't have that in writing. So what is the benefit? Like, I can't figure it out. Like, I don't know what it is. What's the benefit?
Yeah. The Grays Lake taxes are not going to go down unless the assessed value goes down so much, because people won't buy in Grays Lake anymore because of the T5 data center. So
that's it. I didn't even think about that. Do you know if anybody's done any a responsible analysis of that possibility?
You know what? The data centers have not been. I'm a realtor. So the data centers have not been around long enough for there to be actual and factual
enough for an actual data set, a sample set of data. Yeah.
However, people are saying, wait, isn't that where the data center is going? So, it's going to happen. And, once it's here and people see that it's not, or if it comes, we do still have hope that the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers doesn't allow the wetlands to be destroyed. And if that happens, it's possible that it doesn't go up. They never did an environmental study. Grays Lake didn't do it. The builder didn't do it. And that just amazes me that they allowed this to go through to and didn't do that. How do you give somebody that kind of leeway? And right now, there's nobody watching over them. I went over there and I've been taking pictures, and I'm sure I'm going to get in trouble someday. And I went over there right after the rains, and I had taken some pictures of something that I think is a huge violation. And I asked about it, and I'm not going to name names. And if this guy sees this, he'll know exactly who he is. But he said, "Oh, I'm going to go and check it." And I said, "Well, don't you guys do this regularly?" And he says, No, the builder hires somebody, blah, 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 blah. And I can't remember the exact thing that he built, is what he said. And he's responsible. That guy that the builder hires is responsible to get that information in the pictures to Grays Lake to show them that they're doing a good job. So Grays Lake doesn't even go out there. Storm management, the Lake County Storm Management, they're not overlooking this project. Grays Lake isn't really looking over it because the builder is sending them pictures. I'm sorry, the guy who they hired to take the pictures is. What kind of fiasco is that?
Yeah.
So I'm ready. I went over, and the what I think is wrong is much bigger now that the rain came. So I'm about to blow the whistle because they didn't fix the problem. So I just need to know if it's a real problem, because I think it is. I mean, if they're putting water and erosion is going into the wetlands, wouldn't that be a problem?
Yes.
I would think so.
Yeah. So, and now that hole that's cascading down to the wetlands.
That's one of the issues concerning the environmental aspect of this.
It's much bigger.
Storm drain runoff and stuff like storm runoff.
It's huge. The hole was about 3 feet around. Now it's about 5.
So Alexandria Keating-Sofiakis is commenting on here. We were just a minute ago when we were talking about where else they can go besides above ground in the middle of Grays Lake. Said, or putting them in areas hit hard by deindustrialization. So that's an interesting idea. There are these kind of skeletons of former industrialized areas in the country that are just sitting there doing nothing. They're already concrete everywhere. Just put one there.
Brilliant, right?
That's a good idea.
So much smarter than a neighborhood.
Yes, yeah.
You should have seen how much water was on the ground yesterday. I know we got
it rained a lot.
We did. We got over 2 inches. But when all that's not, it's all concrete. Where is all that water going to go?
Right.
So it's sad. It's really
It's a
sad.
horrifying thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. Like I said, like in so many different areas or aspects of it, like it's just
Yeah.
such like if you take it all into consideration, it's just a genuinely, legitimately bad idea.
It's so
Okay,
sad.
to do it that way.
Right. And why are our elected officials that are supposed to be advocating for the residents in Grayslake,
In our community.
for our community, they are not advocating at all. Not for us, not for Grayslake. I don't understand it. I mean,
One
you are
thing I
elected to do this
noticed.
job.
One thing I noticed years ago, and this is my personal speculation, is that a lot of, I mean, over 50% easily, a lot of people who get elected to office, local, county, state, or federal, especially federal, they turn on their constituents the second they get in, step through that door.
Why?
Like they just start making decisions without the consent of their, or even an understanding of a basic consensus amongst their constituency. Power, because they can, because they're getting paid by lobbyists, whatever, blah, 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 all sorts of things. There's been like actual studies done, I think by Yale or Harvard, that like there's like they did a mathematical study, and it was something like if, let me get this wrong, if like 70% of the people want something, only 30% of the time does Congress at the federal level vote that way. So there's massive disproportion between the will of the people and the actual representation of that. I think I did that right. So, okay. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Probably 80-20, but yeah.
It's just, okay, 80-20, whatever it is.
Yeah,
But,
right.
it's drastically different. It's drastically different.
Right.
And
But
then,
the people,
go ahead, sorry.
The people are mad though. I mean, I don't think that our elected officials quite really believe us yet. But these data centers, they are uniting the people. People
it's all
are tired.
Over the country. Nobody wants this.
Yes, and we're tired of government and officials telling us what we're gonna take and what we're gonna live with. No, it affects our quality of life. Stop it. Like, we don't want that anymore. And you know what? Hate data centers. There needs to be more research on putting them in neighborhoods. I don't hate them personally. I hate them in neighborhoods, but I'm grateful that it's putting people together. I'm grateful for the people that I've met in this community, and now nationwide, since that video has gone viral. I have been contacted from people from Texas, from all over the country, really. And that is a huge honor, but it is uniting the people, and these elected officials are going to learn.
Oh, all right. Amy Frick's going to become a political icon.
That's right.
Okay, so you know what I'm going to put the link to the video on my Facebook page, and then people will be able to watch it there. And I got like
that'd
close
be
to
great.
5,000 friends. So,
wonderful! Reshare.
That's just because of my show. Like at one point, like years ago, I just went like ad for blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
love it. But anyway, so Alexandria is also saying events like this is why I wish we were closer to a direct democracy than a representative republic. I would tend to agree. Most especially at the local level, like that should be, and in a sense it is. But I mean, because the people consensus, elects these people. Yeah. But I mean, more things should be referendums. I would say that, like, so that like you have, and I would say like more like depending what the issue is, you have the either 51% or you have the 2/3, depending on how you can think that through and figure that out. But like, to just, be like what 12 people represent, 30,000 people in Grayslake or something like that's nuts. Like even at the federal level, you have 435 Congress people representing 330 million people. Are you kidding me? That's not even mathematically possible.
Right.
Like there's no such, that's not a true representation because one person represents, 5 million people. No, you don't. Because to represent is to be a representation means A is like B. There's no way one person can be like 5 million people. It's not possible. Absolutely. So that's why the smaller the better. Anyway, okay, cool. All right. Did you want to add anything else before we call? It's been about a half hour. I don't want to eat dinner time. So
I just
really not even home yet.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm coming to you guys live from Saddlebrook Farms, where I was actually out here at the.
We're all live from Saddlebrook Farms.
Yeah, we are over here at just talking to residents, just making sure they have the information and making sure they get tickets to our big community meeting, which is the one thing I want to say before we end this. Next Wednesday, 5 to 8, CLC. Tickets are required because we have limited space. There, go to our, maybe I can send David the link or whatever so you can get your tickets, know where to go easily. So yeah, if you have questions or you just want to understand it more, come to this meeting. The teams worked really hard to put it together and to put together, good speakers that know what they're talking about. And so we're just trying to inform. We're still finding people who don't know about it. And so we're still trying to educate and inform.
Yeah, and there's no charge for the tickets, correct?
There's a suggested donation. Pay what you can is how we're saying it, but you don't.
So you can max out the capacity only has so much. So
exactly.
But you don't have to pay for the ticket. Okay, that's
important.
You
don't have to.
I was gonna say I have a press pass. Can I just?
Yeah, on the link it says pay what you can. They literally don't have to pay anything. It's more important that we get those tickets into the hands of the residents in Lake County that want to come and learn more. So let's fill that room. Let's show up.
So it's inside CLC. Is it like the auditorium?
Auditorium A, I believe. I'm sorry, I don't have the information right in front of me, but I'll get you the information out there. 5 to 8 next Wednesday, CLC Grays Lake campus. So
yeah, okay, cool. I went to CLC. CLC is a wonderful place. So
it.
That's very cool. I was definitely going to try to make that one. I should be able to.
Good.
And are any local politicians going to be there or expected to be there? Or is it just like speakers in the know talking to the audience about and kind of filling them in?
I'm not on the planning team, so I guess I don't have all the inside details. I'm one of the promoters right now. So, but I do know the team have worked really hard to put it together and to make sure, we're all doing so much. We're all at meetings, at village meetings, at people's homes meetings, things like this. And so we're all busy, right? And so we want to get the biggest bang for our buck, So we don't want to waste people's time. We want them to show up, be there. We're taking questions in advance because, if you have questions, we want to hear and we want to know what the residents want to know. And we hope to have enough experts there that will be able to answer all of those questions. So we worked really hard. I'll be there as a beekeeper. So come see me there.
Oh, right on.
And I know there's video because they've asked me for some of the video that I have. So I know there's going to be video content, not just speakers. There will be a lot of cool video and stuff like that.
Oh, I see.
And it will be live streamed, I believe. I believe it will be live streamed. So that'll be good.
Where?
I think Facebook Live, I've heard, and maybe one other place. So that information is coming.
It could be.
Yeah,
YouTube.
see if you, I think, because I don't know about Facebook Live. Well, no, I think Facebook takes down videos after a month now.
Oh, okay.
So probably YouTube, Amy.
Yeah, maybe make it in. Put it on YouTube. It stays there forever.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
We'll find out for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. All right. Well, thank you so much, Marie Nuez and Amy Frick, for coming on the show and talking about that very interesting and very cool, very heated situation you were involved in. And congratulations to both of you for doing that, because that's civil disobedience is not easy. It's not easy. I read that by Henry David Thoreau when I was a kid, and I always wanted to do it. And I've never been to a single protest because they just they freak me out. But so good for I applaud the people that can actually get the gumption and courage to do it, because that's very cool.
Absolutely.
Especially like that again, but those people formed that line between you and the cop. I was like, wow.
I just want to say thank you to those people. I've thanked a lot of them online. A lot of them reached out to me and said, hey, that was me. I was that person. And I am grateful for them. So
yeah, that's very cool.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad that nothing happened. Like the cop, I think, obstruction of justice or something.
Probably
could have arrested the lot of you.
I do want to say for the police officer, I was talking to him while Amy was talking, and I just said, listen, it's only a couple minutes. Just let her talk. She's going to be done. Just go and, just go. And he said, well, she shouldn't be doing it in this forum, and she should be doing it outside, and the meeting's over. And, these trustees, they don't have to be here, and so on. I said, listen, the trustees sat back down. The mayor wanted to leave. The mayor left. Yeah. And he looked around and he saw that the trustees were sitting. And I said, it's going to be a couple minutes. Let her go. And he quietly exited the area. If you look, you can see that. Yep. And that's when I turned to Amy and I said, you're fine. Slow down. Wow. You're good. And that's what she's talking about in that, because he did listen. So he, not like he had to listen or anything, but I think he respected, but I think he respected what was going on. Yeah. I really do. So I don't blame him at all. I really, on that, I believe that the mayor was more at fault for that part of it. And I think that he really kind of felt the injustice and let her continue on. And I think that's where it ended. And I just don't want anybody to think that the police officers or the police that were there were, being bad. They were doing what they were told. And as soon as they figured out that it was okay, it was okay.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, it seemed like he held his composure. The cop.
Yeah, he was fine.
Well,
I think they were good.
And kudos to Marie too, because I mean, in those moments, as you say, it's hard to contain those emotions. But as she's telling you, she really was just having a calm conversation with him.
There was a couple people that were trying to badger him. Yeah, and that wasn't appropriate.
Yeah, don't.
And her calmness. Yeah. Her calmness, I think, probably is what kept things from escalating even further. So I commend Marie for that. So
the dynamic duo of Grace Lake.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
Going on for.
Yeah. So that's very cool. Okay, very cool. Well, again, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story with us. This is fascinating stuff. It's interesting. Again, congratulations and good for you both for doing what you're doing and getting the word out there and standing up for clearly what is right. And hopefully, you'll have a lot of people will have your back and we can get this situation rectified and just no data centers, not around here.
I agree.
Not like that.
On your side.
Yeah, hey, people over profit. Thank you for having us on. We appreciate the ability to continue.
Absolutely, no problem. I'm going to be in touch. Amy, I'd love to have you back on and talk about beekeeping because again,
I'll do it.
So,
sounds good.
Cool. All right, hang on 1 second after I ended the stream. I just want to ask you something real quick. Okay, off air. All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in to Let's Talk Lake County. I'm your host, David Rich. Till next time, keep talking. Okay, there's a lag, so don't.